is history, the future mystery. This moment is the gift. Every second.
Welcome, Miracle Makers. And we are starting with a little bit of a prayer. We are so grateful for this time in studio. We're so grateful to be with our beloved UBN family and the Sunset Gower family and the great things we get to do because great men and women came before us and organized a way for us to reach you. Please let our words be Source's words, God's words. Please let Logos, let all that is come through us for all those that call in and for all those that are listening. And so it is. Amen, amen.
Amen, amen. Beautiful, my love.
Yay. Welcome, Miracle Makers. We're so excited that you're here. And this show is for you. It's a call-in show for you to ask your questions. And the first Friday and the second or third Friday, first and third Friday of every month, Miracle Makers, we are here for you. I am Dr. Sarah Larsen. I am a medical intuitive, a medium, and I love being of service. I'm trained as a medical doctor, although everything I practice is energy medicine and transforming the unseen world into working for you, bringing out the best that is available for you into the world. And my co-pilot, my co-host in this life and in this show is my amazing husband, Greg Larsen.
Thank you, Dr. Sarah Larsen. I so appreciate that. And I am so honored and blessed to be your co-pilot on this amazing journey.
You've got wild hair, baby.
Do I got wild hair today? I think it's
Yeah.
just, gotta read. Does that look better?
Oh, no. I mean, you're wild. I want to see, Jarvis, will you let us know when people are calling in? And those tuning in from Facebook, please share this. Please share this. So there are people that might be reaching out that need this right now. Your friends and your family might need help right now. And so, Jarvis, is there someone on their line? Yes. Oh, I have to put on the headphones to be able to hear you. Jarvis is in studio. Hi, caller. Welcome. Can you hear me?
Hey, Dr. Sarah.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Dr. Sarah.
Who am I speaking with?
This is Penny Howard again.
Hi. Oh, you have been in my thoughts and in my prayers so much. And so I'm so glad that you're on the phone. And so what can we help you with?
Well, thank you. I had to go back to the doctor this past week, and I've got to have a procedure done this coming up week, and I'm just wondering if you see anything bad. In other words, what do you sort of see with that?
So I see something in your digestive tract. Like this is the time that being really mindful of what you're putting into your body becomes really, really important. And I think the part that's so important is resting it for long periods of time. So having small, for the procedure to go really, really well, there is a little bit, I don't think it's a deep anesthesia, but it's important for your body to have as much energy to feed the healing part rather than digesting food, so that the less you eat for the next few days will help the procedure. And it's like having tiny meals and having long periods of rest between those tiny meals will let your body release some growth hormone in between. And that growth hormone that gets released because you're hungry helps the result, helps what happens in the way, the procedure that's being done, the way that shows up. Did that make sense?
Yeah, to a certain degree it does, and I may have explained it wrong. I've got to go back to the doctor for them to do something in their office, and then they will decide if I need to go to the next point
Right.
to actually going into the hospital for the procedure.
Right. And so, and it feels like they want to do something with your back or back, like the determination is something to do with your back. Is that correct?
Well, no, it's of course this is sort of embarrassing, but I'm having some vaginal bleeding because I'm postmenopausal, and
Yeah.
so they're going to do an ultrasound, and then she said that they may have to do a D&C later, and I guess they're checking me for cancer, of course, because
For
I shouldn't be
cancer.
having vaginal bleeding at my age.
Um, uh,
So that's what I'm concerned about.
yeah. And so that's so eat a lot less. Small amounts of food, having more. So when they're checking you, when they're looking, it will help make sense of your body. Your body is the most amazing instrument for healing. And it's incredible how
Okay.
much it can heal. And so finding out the source of the bleeding, finding out what's happening, and then in your back, there's stuff happening in your back, sort of like a little bit of weakness, and I'm feeling it as we're talking, just a little bit of like nerve stuff that's happening back there as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I do have that going on as well. So I've got a bunch going on at one time, but I'm a little bit concerned about this other test because this has happened before.
The vaginal. So
So,
your body can stop bleeding, just like if you have a cut on your arm, it can stop bleeding at
mhm.
any point and at any time. That when the factors that make clotting happen, the factors that cause it to heal. So it's so important to let yourself go through light, very, very light meals, long periods of time without eating, and your body and the circulation and the growth hormone release will allow the bleeding and sort of then the lightheadedness and the lightness that's happening, so that you don't have to go further into more procedures.
Right. Well, I will sure try that.
Okay, awesome. And I feel like it's going to heal your back as well. Like a spurt of growth hormone. If you're a little bit hungry
Mm-hmm.
for a period of time, it's going to make growth hormone be released in your endocrine system. That growth hormone will allow you to heal areas because you'll have more immunity cells, you'll have more cells that are reconstructive, and more collagen, that sort of scenario in your skin and in your nervous system. That's what growth hormone does so much for you. And a little bit of hunger goes a long way for releasing growth hormone.
Well, I'll try that because I don't go very long. I mean, I'm not usually very hungry because I eat too much. So, but I'll try that because I was just a little bit concerned. And I just thought if you've seen anything, because I have been told before that my cervix was thickened, which could be a sign of cervical cancer. And she said that the bleeding was coming from my cervix, but we'll just have to see.
Right.
So, but I'll do what she told me to do. I'll cut back on my food and just not eat very much for several days before I go in for the ultrasound on Tuesday.
And really feel that your body's amazing, like it, because it stopped bleeding before, it stopped and was resilient before. And so the important information that it wants you to know around this, and it's a little bit of an emotional thing because all of our spiritual energy goes into dis-ease based on not having words for the emotions behind it. And the emotion behind this has to do with feeling a little bit of shame, and shame about not being the woman that you are, this amazing woman that you are. You feel like you should be doing other stuff. And so the bleeding's coming up around feeling shame about not giving, like guilt and shame around not being able to nurture and be the feminine provider that you are.
That I used to be.
Yes. Well, it's extraordinary because you still share uplifting things as long as you're staying positive with recognizing yourself, as long as you're sending prayers, and with there's a few things over the past few years that you're not able to do. And by focusing on what you haven't been able to do, your emotions have stopped seeing you and your body, because you still can make phone calls, you can still cheer people up, you can still pray at church, you can still write up and call out recipes, you can still do so many things. But the focus in your life has been about what you can't do. And so your body's shutting down more and more. But if you focus on all the things you can do, all of your strengths, all of but even getting and calling places to jump on the phone with people that you can pray for. One of the things that you could also do is record and read for the blind that are in your neighborhood. And that would help you so much remember how you care and how you nurture. And your body would slowly begin to repair itself as you're doing what you're here to do. You are such a nurturer and such a love. And when you started to slow down, you started to not recognize all the things you could still do. And so really sitting down and being able to brainstorm. And I love doing private sessions. And I know at some point we'll get you in. You'll be able to do that as well. And I'm so glad you called. And you'll be in our continued prayers. Thank you so much for calling.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you, Dr. Sarah, so much. And hopefully I'll talk to you on another day.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll be back with these call-in shows. So please call back on the first Monday of July, or Sunday. I'm sorry, Friday. I'm all over the place because I have so many events going on. But the first Friday of the month. Yes. So I look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yay, we've got another caller on the line. Baby, how is that for you?
You know what? Thank you, because what your guidance for her there at the end, which is to focus on what you can do. All those things you suggested to her are just so lovely. And I could tell as I was tuning into my heart, it was like if she were to embrace that guidance and follow that, it would immediately begin changing her life and then immediately begin changing her health and her physiology.
Yes, absolutely. And it's amazing what your body can do. And so welcome, caller. It's Dr. Sarah Larsen. We're so glad you're on with us.
Hello.
Hi. Who am I speaking with?
Desiree.
Hi, Desiree.
How are you today?
I'm so good, Desiree. I would love to hear what we can help you with.
Well, I have a son that passed away, and I been really holding off on trying to reach out to see if I could ever try and hear from him or whatnots again. And I was wondering if you could help me with that.
It's very, very interesting. There is a great deal of peace already in your heart with what happened to him. Meaning there was a time that it was really, really hard, especially because there wasn't a lot of communication for a little bit, and then now you're more at peace than ever. So can you tell me his name a little bit?
His name is Dustin Joseph Davis. He was 5 years old when he passed away.
Yeah, he had stuff in his nose, meaning there was the breathing part, the nose, and stuff in his nose. He wants you to know he's here and he can feel you. And there was stuff around his blood. But he is sharing because he wants you to know he's here. So he's pointing out sort of the bloodline, and to his nose and things being in his nose. What does that mean to you?
Yeah. Well, he actually stopped breathing in my arms at home, and they wanted to give him a blood transplant, like a blood transfusion in the hospital, and they had to do some weird shunt thingy, and right before they could actually do it, his heart failed again. So they weren't actually able to do it. And they said that if they were able to do that, then they would have been able to bring it back.
So he wants you to know thank you for sharing that, just so he knows that you know it's him. And he wants you to know he loved his room space. Like, it was so, and he's got the words blue and white, like the colors blue and white. And to him...
Are you serious?
Right, seriously.
Okay.
What does that bring up?
That's awesome because I'm sitting next to his urn right now. I have his urn in the living room on the stand. It's a memorial stand just for him, and there's about 5 shelves there. And when we were in the hospital, the nurses gave me and his daddy a blanket that says I love my mommy and daddy, and it's blue and yellow. And all his stuff is sitting on top of it.
He is just so grateful that he got time with you guys, and he wants to help bring healing to you and your husband a little bit, to his papa. And he said only the 2 of you guys have gone through this together. There were other people that were there, but both of you knew what it was like, start to finish. And
yeah.
He wants for that to be something that you, brings you closer together. There's nothing that you guys could have done differently. And it's interesting because he brings you little feathers or little bird things. All that's him trying to make your heart lighter than a feather.
That is so true.
Yeah.
I collect feathers. Every time I see a feather on the ground, I pick it up and I put it next to his urn.
And so that's him. Yeah, that's him with this glorious love for you. It's just, he wants you to know he hasn't left, and he still wants to keep you guys closer. Like, he wants to bring you guys closer together a little bit, because you both, that's what you have gone through together. And then there is so many blessings, and it's a funny thing to say blessings this way, but it was so much work around him, and he wants to bring so many blessings to you guys. And so he wants you to share more of his cuteness. He was so the way that he would, and he's showing me the way that he would suck on different bottles and different things. Like, he had a special way of sucking.
Yes.
And
he was a Gerber baby.
So he wants you to have all of that out and about, and to, whenever his memory comes up, to really feel the blessings he can bring to you from the other side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know the only reason why I have as much peace that I do now is because of him and God. So.
The part about his dad not being able to talk about it so much is interesting. So do you want to just mention a couple things about that?
Absolutely.
So
Well, at first, when we were in the hospital and Dusty was in a coma, Aaron was trying to explain to me that he's not coming back. And it was very hard for Aaron to do that. And I think that's one of the reasons why he doesn't really talk about Dusty too much.
And so, really being able to tell him thank you, because you know he was trying to protect your heart. And but that's a reset button for you guys. He wanted to protect himself and you and his heart. And so really being able to say, you know, baby, thank you for trying to keep me safe and protected. And I would really, this will be on Facebook as soon as we end the show. And for him to be able to hear this is really beautiful, so that he can know it came from, like, Desiree, you and I haven't ever met, right?
Never.
Never. There's no way for me to know any of this about you.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
And so it will really help his father be able to step back into power inside himself. The reset button for you guys is for you to say, thank you. I know you were trying to protect me and us.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, Desiree, thank you for calling in. And I love your guy.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I love him so much. He is so cute and so fun. And he knows that one day you'll talk about him with such great joy. And that every time you think of him right now, to really know that there's blessings coming from the other side for you guys.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you. Big hugs to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye-bye. Ooh. Baby, what do you want to share around that?
Well, I disagree with Bonnie Howard here, who wrote a little comment. My heart goes out to her.
My heart goes out. Our heart goes out
for
to
losing
you guys.
her son.
Yeah.
I could not imagine we will be praying for her.
Yeah.
So we will be doing that right now.
We will. And right now we have a friend that's in the hospital. And our friend is a athlete, and he's brought himself back to life a few different times. He's been an extraordinary giver in the community. His name is Steve Jennings, and he's just going through so much. And to feel him on the spiritual plane, go back and forth from physical form into integration, into it's just a very, very, we can feel it because there's no one else like your child, like your brother, like your, I'm even going to say like my husband, like my lover. And when that energy is no longer available in the physical, it becomes so a source of faith. And it also becomes a source of connecting to knowing we don't end. It becomes a source of us paying really close attention, moment by moment, to the signs. And it becomes so important for us not to take anyone for granted. And it's interesting because sometimes if a beloved yells at you or someone says something hurtful, one of the principles, and this used to be like, one of the principles that is really, really important to practice is forgive them, for they know not what they do. And so in extreme times and extreme stressors, when people come up and they're not their usual self or their in lovely self, this there's a Bible verse that says, give them the other cheek and forgive them, for they know not what they do. And I believe that give them the fresh cheek or give them the other cheek means always be looking at the other through a fresh lens. Never from a set point of in the past, whatever they're saying in the moment, to come from it with real listening in the moment for what they're sharing right now. Not what you expected of them before, not a set point from before, but to truly be present for a loved one, not take time for granted, and offer them, be available for the healing in that moment. Give them the fresh cheek, give them the new eyes from which you're looking at them, and always, always be generous with the way that you see them. Bring out the best in them. Anyway, Jarvis, I could go on. Baby, what comes up for you as I shared that?
It's just, it just, reminds me that there's much deeper realms of experience than what I sometimes perceive in my day-to-day life. The little annoyances and irritations are really the little stuff. And thank you for reminding me of these deeper spaces that we can live in and explore that will provide such a richer experience of love in life.
Love in life is, if you miss love, you miss everything. If you miss love, you miss everything. Self-love, whatever that love is, love with your children, love with your parents, love with all the way around. If you miss love, it's very, very hard. And so, Jarvis, do we have another caller? Welcome, caller. Hi, it's Dr. Sarah Larsen. Can you hear me? Okay, we lost you, caller. So let's see, please call back. It's Dr. Sarah Larsen. Hi, welcome. Can you hear me, caller? We lost that caller too. We'll wait for more. If you are hearing us, please, please, please call in. We wanted to see and connect you with all that your angels, all that the energy world, all that's available to you. And I'm going to dive in a little bit more on, I do a lot of work with couples and
266.
Oh, excuse me. That so we got the voicemail of someone, or maybe I don't know what happened there. I do a lot of couples work, and those that have lost children, those that had infidelity, those that want to release a relationship or continue a relationship. Conscious uncoupling is one of the things that I love working on, and being able to share with a couple from their energy field what the best possible outcome for their relationship is, and what they have to, the skill sets or the belief systems inside them that they have to turn on or off in order to make it work. It's really, really extraordinary to have a couple come in and in an hour's time be able to break patterns and have skill sets in place to allow them to move forward for the best potential life. And it's really, really beautiful to be able to have a partner that is so doing the work as well, and to run conversations on the studies on the male perspective on as well. And so sometimes Greg and I will work together with couples to allow each person to hear each other. And that's one of our favorite things to do as well. Baby, what else would you want to share?
Just our own journey has been that, a very amazing journey with, highs and lows. But when I look back, and I share this with people when we talk about relationships and how to navigate the challenges, is that, for me, at times it was super challenging, but what always in a sense gave me hope or kept me committed was that I could see you were committed to growing. Is that you were not like, I'm going to stay stuck right here and I'm going to, dig a hole and I'm not budging. It was like you were really committed to your own journey of growth. And so early on, it was, lots of turbulence, and it's gotten, then now we've been on this amazing journey. And then in the last few years, it's really been delicious and nurturing and beyond what I could have ever imagined a relationship to be. And I would not have been gifted with his experience had I given up years ago. So,
what do you think kept me from giving up? What do you think? Because it was it's really challenging to be with a Minnesota man of your variety. What do you think kept me? And I'm just interested because we do so much couples work.
Yeah.
And, we've had a lot you moved at one point and left me in California to take care of all of the business. You were in Minnesota with the kids, and you've been super dad. And I've flew back and forth to make our marriage work from California to Minnesota, California, Minnesota. There were so many times. What do you think, in your perspective, kept the hope? Because I'm just interested, as we're talking about this, for it to come through a male lens. Because a lot of women are ready to give up on their relationships, and they're ready because the patterns aren't changing. The shift isn't happening in their counterparts. So what would you say is the shift? What was it for me? I'm just interested in your perspective.
I would love to hear your perspective too, but I will share that there was a lot of like I say, challenging times, and one of one of my things I just stood on so firmly all these years was, you're forgiven before you do anything. And even though something might have happened that would have been, a grievous to somebody else, it was like, I really, I don't hang on. I'm not a grudge person. I'm not I'm very quick to that was yesterday or that was early this morning. And right now, I'm committed to being present in the moment and moving forward from here, knowing that, the source of what might have been that challenge was, past pain or things of that nature.
And I'm grateful that you brought that up, and you asked, what was it that kept me holding on or keeps me holding on?
Mm-hmm.
Is my love of God, my love of Source, my love of integrity and to be of service. And even though it's hard, it really is hard to be married to you sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's quite challenging for me. And we're kind of going through our little thing right now because I have to make time to make, there are no flowers. There is no romance. There is no, to create from this standpoint and stay in it, to fully go, wow, it's so that I can be of greater service. It's really, the energy comes up and you're able to see yourself. And without you, I'm not able to see myself. And my commitment to God, my commitment to my family who loves you, who my dad's like your biggest champion, your biggest fan. And the reason we share this on this show, and I know callers are calling in, is it's not easy to be committed. It's not easy to be in service. It's not easy to be surrounded in front of people, and if people like one of my assistants, Stacy, who I adore, worked for Elon Musk. She's so brilliant. I'd love anyone who wants a great personal assistant. Stacy is a great personal assistant, and I'll put her info in the comments below. But to have people and assistants in our lives day to day and be in the spotlight, so to speak, micro under the microscope, examined, and everything we said possibly out there shared. Marriages are challenging, different time frames, losing loved ones, having different desires, people being able to see themselves happens in relationship. You're able to balance yourself. And whether it's with your love, and you are my love, the love of my life, whether it's with the love of my life, and for me, it's you create from the inside out. So how you show up is based on the next lesson, the next growth possibility that's in my life. And when that, however you show up, and if it comes from the inside out, if you understand from your heart that your partner is here to squeeze you, the soul, squeeze the juice, the essence out of you, and help you purify that juice and essence to be what you want it to be, it makes a major, major difference. And again, if you miss love, you miss everything. And whether it's love with your husband, with your beloved, whether it's love with a friendship that you've known all your life, whether it's with your parents, whatever that is, it's really important to take full responsibility for how you show up and how the other shows up as well. And so that's the commitment and full responsibility, commitment to something greater than ourselves, and the responsibility. If you're yelling at me or defending something, it's because there's something in me that's initiating and grow that I'm not giving. That creates that. Awesome. I know we've got more callers on the line.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for
that was a good point though, because it is uncomfortable to be exposed, and you cannot help but be exposed if you're in a dynamic relationship.
Yes.
But at the same time, as I'm sitting there feeling uncomfortable being exposed, it's like, it's the truth, and I need to grow, and I need to see this. I need to accept this, what is being exposed right now. And so maybe you're in a relationship where you're not in, it's not dynamic and you're not being exposed, but we are in one where I'm exposed and it's uncomfortable, but I'm very grateful for that reflection.
I expose myself all the time, and it's like the worst part of me. Everybody knows the worst part, and I lovingly share that because I never want to be held on a pedestal.
Yeah.
But we are all human. Any gift that I have, everyone has. And in our creators, in energy, in life's eyes, we're all the same. And so at one point I had an assistant that put me on a pedestal, and it was the most uncomfortable thing until I could really knock myself off the pedestal. And I did. I made it a point to where she could see so that we are all equals. And it's really important to show that and not judge yourself. Have the courage. For me, it's important to have the courage to expose yourself in order to share the greatest good that can come from connecting with another. And it's just as important to share the best parts of you. It's important to share, I have one client that was an RN that regrew her lungs. in 6 weeks of working with me, and she did the work, the inner work. I have a client right now who went from a 23-year job that for a year, she left that job, and for a year now, she has been living her life in faith and has created more resources than ever. And it's extraordinary to witness that. And it's extraordinary to share those parts as well. It's in combination, two people coming together. And if someone can help you see aspects of yourself that you haven't fully realized or expressed, and you can move together, it's an extraordinary feeling. And so, Jarvis, if you will help me with the next caller online. Let's see. Hi. Welcome, caller.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Thank you for being on the line. How can we help you?
I've got like 5 questions at once. I feel like I'm curious as to what like my next steps should be or are to be. I feel things in my body, and I'm just not sure in how to decipher what is a message versus, hunger, or, something else that may be not what I'm thinking it is.
Oh, I love that you have such a great speaking ability. And I need to know your name. What's your name?
Oh, my name is Disha.
Hi, Disha. You are an extraordinary speaker, and you hold a lot of stuff in. So you will know things about other people, and you'll have ideas, and then within a couple days, you'll realize that you saw that beforehand. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's extraordinary.
That is true.
It's extraordinary because you're really tapped in. And so your question is, how do I know what's real and what's not real? And how do I know when it's my stuff and not my stuff? Is that correct?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The lower half of your body is telling me that you have so the root chakra, the creative chakra, and your willpower are a little bit out of balance around rules for yourself. And so so sometimes you will have cravings, want to do different things, and it's not in alignment with who you truly are. And so I'm going to say this another way. You've got a great skill set of becoming so great in your field. And there are physical cravings, like food cravings, other cravings as well that show up. And if you're able to sit with the cravings and let them make you uncomfortable, but not act on them, you will have a total new skill set awakened within you. You've got like such a great heart. You've got such a great ability to speak, that although you don't always share it, and you've got clarity more and more than ever. But so sitting down and meditating and really listening to the lower half of your body and giving yourself permission to want it. No shame around it, no guilt, no any energy other than courage to express it to yourself and name it. And sitting with and doing the forgiveness work on the lower half of your body will really transform your ability to have a clear yes and a clear no.
Okay.
And you've got written stuff that you've sort of like mantra-ish stuff around you. So can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I actually have the first thing that I see when I wake up is a index card that says, "What do you want to experience today?" I also have I'm looking at a quote from Esther or Abraham Hicks. Appreciation is the magic formula you've been seeking. And then another quote: "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes," by Carl Jung. And I've got I am, and then warrior princess, powerful, peace, capable, compassionate. So I actually have like affirmations and words all throughout my home.
And
Yeah.
just so I wanted you to have that knowing that I'm seeing into you fully. We've never met. We've
Mhm.
never and if you will do this work, I know it seems simple, but if you will sit with and do this repeatedly, at least for 21 days, where you tune into yourself, you really hear, like literally listen from your inner voice for what the lower half of your body intends, wants, creates. It's extraordinary.
Okay.
It will transform your
I feel like
finances
I feel like
too.
I don't know how to do that, but I do know how to do that.
You
So
do,
I
yeah.
think this
And
will be
are you
interesting.
local to the Los Angeles area?
No, I'm actually in Oakland. I used to live in Los Angeles, but I
Oh,
live in Oakland now.
well, I'm so glad there is like in your neighborhood places that you can go on trail walks or walks, and then at the end of the
Okay.
physical walk sit down with a diary and listen.
Okay.
Okay.
Huh. That's actually what I've been wanting to do this weekend. That's on my to-do list. So, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, such hugs to you. I love you. Thank you for calling in. And please stay in touch with us on Facebook. Let us know after 21 days or even at the next time the
I
call
will.
how that's working. And literally, all of your resources will transform the way they show up in your world if you do this for 21 days.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
Thank
so
you. Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. Welcome. Yay. And
Bye.
bye, baby.
My love.
I would not be the woman I am without
Oh, thank you.
you. I used to run
Mm,
all the time. And
yeah.
so having this relationship means the world to me.
Mm. I will be here forever till the end of
I
time, my
know
love.
that's one of my fears too. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing. It really is. It's so sweet. But I appreciate you so much. All that you do is extraordinary.
I love that. That the appreciation is the magic secret sauce you've been
Right.
waiting for. Some whatever that quote was, but
Right.
that
It's
is
Esther Hicks.
yeah, Esther Hicks. Yeah.
And they such a beautiful. She channels Abraham, and there is quite a vortex that you can get into, and riding the vortex. To me, the work that we're doing in Monday Night Miracle Mondays of elevating the vortex talks about Dr. David Hawking's work. And right now on my Facebook page, there is a great article that shows, but in the picture, the graph there, it shows how if we're feeling shame, we're absorbing energy from the environment, guilt, all of these lower emotions that we feel, we absorb energy. When we get to courage, it's when we begin to give energy to the world. So it's in the notes on Facebook, on Dr. Sarah Larsen's Facebook page. In the notes, there is a note about an image or a scale, a rainbow colored image scale that tells you about consciousness. And throughout our lives, we have hidden energy blocks. And this was first studied by and shared by Dr. David Hawkins. And when you feel courage and you begin moving up, and appreciation is way up there, you move higher and higher in the vortex, magnetic field, in the energy field. And it's incredible. We now have so much data to show that our energies put out energy and absorb energy, and our life force, what that looks like in pictures and images. And so I'm really looking forward to getting my work out there on the science behind how to raise your vibration and consciousness. Oh, we have one more caller that I'm sure we can take. Welcome, caller. It's Dr. Sarah Larsen. We're so glad you're here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yay. Thank you so much. Who am
Okay,
I?
I made it.
You
I
made
was the
it.
one that accidentally dropped the call.
I'm so glad that you're here. There's so much that wants to be said and cleared. So I'd love for you to tell me your name.
My name is Eva Marie Casio de la Vega. I know it's long.
It's so beautiful. There's so much that
Thank
wants to be
you.
shared, and there's so much for you to talk about that can only come through you. You have so many names because you've gotten connected with so many different lineages in your lifetime. So it's very, very interesting. So what is your question?
Well, my question is, what are my, I guess, next steps to, right now, I'm more spiritual than ever, but, and sometimes I don't get things, and then sometimes I do, but I just want to know, am I on the right path of the steps that I am taking towards being more enlightenment and helping others, because that is one thing that I love to do, is help others. You know what I mean?
I do. I know what. It's interesting because you're electric. It's an interesting energy field. Your energy field is shocking, electric, vibrant. It's so fun because you can go all the way up, up, up in your field like a spark plug and a firecracker and fireworks. And then there are times that in your energy field that you get sort of like a dim pulse. So you navigate between those two fields in yourself. And what happens for you depends a lot around frequency of movement. So if you get out and you move about and you're going from place to place, you shift your energy and you're able to give more. But if you go in and get stuck, and there are certain people that you hang out with that are not comfortable for you anymore, that bring you down. And out of habit, you've stuck around with them out of loyalty. And does that sound right?
It would be my family. I want to say that. I know it's sad to say, but I want to say it'd be my family. They're all new to this. Some of them accepted it, and others, they're still kind of shy around it. Well, don't say nothing. Don't tell. I mean, what? Tell what? Who cares?
Right.
So I want to say that.
This is so. The idea is you can't change your family. Your family, each member is like the floor, the wall, or the ceiling. So with my husband, this was one of my mantras early in our marriage was the floor is the floor, the wall is the wall, the ceiling is the ceiling. My husband is my husband. What he says, what he does, only I can change myself. And there is a connection to you've got more things alike with your family than different. And when you're reflecting back to them, sort of saying all the things that they're doing right, all the lovely stuff, the nice things, they begin to do more of that. And never go to your family drained. you have to spend a little bit of time filling yourself up before you go to your family so that you're able to give to them energetically.
Okay.
Did that make sense as well? And so they will come more in your direction and believe in you more when you begin to reflect the growth that you're seeing in them and you're sharing the parts that light them up rather than asking them to see you. Did that make
Correct.
sense? Okay,
that.
awesome.
That does.
And then your helpfulness comes from you've got more stuff to write. And it feels like ancient stuff, like taking old verses and turning them into modern language. You do that already, but you haven't done it in a professional format yet.
Yeah, that does resonate. I'm part Italian, and I'm looking in more into my Italian heritage in terms of enlightenment. And it's funny that you did say that because it did say it's old tradition. But, and you said that you nailed the nail on the coffin, which is you take the old and then they were saying, and then you kind of bring it into light and put it into today's perspective.
Yes.
I see that.
Yeah. And it will help a lot more people for you to start doing that.
Okay.
Oh, I love you. I'm so glad that you called.
Thank you so much. I highly appreciate it. Oh, my goodness. Much love. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Jarvis, do we have time for one more caller, or is this wrap up? Okay. Baby, is there anything you want to say from Facebook or anything you want to share?
Just that I love you immensely, more and more each day and moment.
Oh.
And especially when I see you here in your element, because you're such a gifted, intuitive person, it just really amazes me that I get to be with someone who comes from such a hard space on this planet. I'm very, very blessed and very, very appreciative.
Oh, me too. We are so, thank you. Thank you for that. And you witnessed me kind of in every shape and form.
Yeah.
You're seeing all the work that we're doing and all the sleepless nights as well, to be able to help all the people in the different countries and different places.
Yeah.
So, and you get it all, meaning you get to see it all. So
I will let everyone know that Dr. Sarah's wearing jeans today, and boy, oh boy, she is looking fine.
And with that, Miracle Makers, thank you for joining us. We look forward to our next time with you. Thank you so, so much. Please let us know what you thought of this show. Please share it with your friends. We want those that are seeking this information to find it. And you never know who needs it right now.
Thank you, Miracle Makers.
Thank you.
The past is history, the future mystery. This moment is